Customer states, hit manhole cover. Please advise on repairs. Do you think it damaged more than just the undercover?
Customer states, no power at the shop edition. Have an ABS light on, ran a scan on it, and we have codes set for both front wheel speed sensors being erratic. And that's because the reluctor wheel on the axle shaft is cracked. Oh, there it is. See that? That right there will cause an erratic signal. Plus it allows the ring to move around on the shaft. In this situation, these reluctor rings are not serviced separately, so we do have to replace the half shaft. On this one here, you can see our reluctor ring, and you can see that there is a break right here, and it can just slide around. Is the sensor that reads those teeth as they go by.
Dude, Jeff, what's taking you so long, man?
I identify as an hourly tech.
Someone's having quite a Monday. Oh. Hello.
Oh boy. Customer state. On their 1986 Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. Yes, I am the customer. On acceleration, when you're running the AC or defrost or whatever for the HVAC, all of those HVAC functions just change randomly. You want to know why? Because older cars, a lot of your temperature and mode selections are vacuum operated. While a lot of older cars did use vacuum, you had some cars, especially real popular with like German automobiles like Mercedes, their seats and windows, their power windows were even powered with vacuum. But okay, what does that have to do with acceleration? It actually has a lot to do with the fact that it's got a turbo. This little vacuum line right here going into the firewall, this goes to the HVAC control head. And that's basically the supply vacuum, and that vacuum comes from the engine. But on a turbo application, when you give it gas and you start building boost, guess what? You start pressurizing all of the vacuum system. And that's where these little guys come into play. This is a one-way vacuum check valve. Vacuum can get sucked through, but boost can't get pushed through. And it might be a little unethical, but the best way I found to check these is to blow through one end and then see if you can suck through it the same hole. So I can blow and suck through this little guy. Whereas here's one that works. All my Ford guys, you probably recognize these off an F-150. I try to blow through, but it keeps me from blowing through. But I can suck air through the other end. So this one works. The one originally on the car has failed. Those guys aren't my only problem. I found that I have a broken vacuum line. Vacuum line goes to the vacuum reservoir. So during times when we do have boost pressure coming in, we don't have vacuum, that reservoir will provide vacuum until vacuum can be restored when you come to a cruising speed or in an idle. Okay, got my new one in there. And like I say, all you Ford guys probably recognize that one. That's the one off an F-150. And it's a blue top, so it should hold up. But we'll see. Okay, so let's take it for a drive and see what happens. There's boost pressure. We're working.
Customer states, car is overheating. Oh no. Oh fuck.
Customer states on the Cadillac that the tires are out of balance. Well, no fucking shit, bud. Customer states, something feels bouncy in reverse. Go for it. Jesus Christ.
Customer states they got a slight rattle noise in their engine. Justin, what's wrong with that timing chain? Oh, hey. That'll cause a slight rattle noise. So when this vehicle started knocking, it didn't knock for very long. It actually quit running. That's because it jumped timing while driving down the road, so that's never a good sign. We'll fix it.
If you saw the last Ford Explorer video and you thought that was bad, well, check these out, and check this out, and check that out, and look at this. Oh, yeah.
Customer states that we have a brake squeak. Oh, hey, there's a rock stuck in there. Yeah, wore that rock down smooth.
This is a great way to start off a Monday. Customer states, 2021 Outback with only 8,000 miles on it. Check engine light is on. Oh man, P0455. Those who don't know, P0455 in most automotive applications means that the gas cap is loose. But in this particular instance, the gas cap is not loose and the O-ring is still good. But if you notice, it doesn't click. So it seems like someone put the gas cap on way too tight and cracked it. Ooh. Nice. How about the old? Well, there we go. Now we have a gas cap that actually clicks. That's all you need, just a nice little gentle once, and it's good. Let's get it.
2016 Hyundai Sonata. Customer states oil light comes on intermittently. Checking the oil. See, it does have oil. It's on the low mark, but you know these motors are known to consume oil. Another common issue on these cars is the oil pressure switch failing. The oil pressure switch is run through the injector harness. You pull that, that's saturated with oil. But it also travels all the way up into the harness, and at this point, saturated with oil throughout the whole harness, so it's going to need a whole engine harness and an oil pressure switch and injector harness. But still, never drive your car if the oil light's coming on or off without checking your oil, because you never know.
Customer states we have a rodent issue, and these said rodents have started to eat all the insulation out of everything. Apparently placed an Irish Spring under here is supposed to deter that. It didn't work out too well. Ugh. Yeah, I see the stuff all in there. And that's not supposed to look like that. Okay, heater case is out. You can see where they really went munching on that insulator. We got the case out. It's kind of grimy, but we're going to have to replace it because so many mice were in this thing. They ate the screen and they ate most of the plastic. I've never seen rodents eat up so much plastic on an HVAC case. Plus, the smell is god-awful. One thing I can say about being in the Midwest is that the critters love the munch on your vehicles here. Something to think about before you move to Montana.
Customer states slight grinding noise under vehicle. Well, that's it.
Well, that's neat. 3 layers. We're back for day 3 with this Mac LR613. I've got some pretty cool shit to show you this morning. So it's kind of hard to see, but if you look closely, you can see the feathering of where DEF has contacted these injectors. And on top of that, we have a tri-layer separation out of what came out of the secondary fuel filter yesterday. And here's what came out of the primary filter and the rest of what came out of the secondary filter. Some nice separation going on there. And then we take a look inside these cups and we see obvious signs of rust. The rust in those cups is obvious signs of DEF contamination. Whether it was by accident or sabotage, nobody knows.
2019 John Deere 648L2. Customer states his front diff lock's not working. I'm going to climb up in the cab. We're going to check out what codes are in it, and then we'll go over a few things. Show you what I found. All right, let me see our caution lights on. We'll check the codes in it. With the diagnostics, codes, active and stored codes, front differential lock, open, short to power. So in my mind, first thing I think is, well, we have a ground issue. And that's probably what I'll check. I'll go to the front diff and check the harness on it and go from there. All right, this is the panel right in front of the cab on the right side. What I usually do is come in here, first thing is you can see the connector or taking the harness off, but that is the connector. And sometimes you'll see a stick in here and it'll tear that connector up. In this case, it didn't. There's no stick, nothing hit it. So I got the harness off and I'm going to check it. It runs from there over to that solenoid over there. If that's hard to see. That's your diff lock solenoid. All right, what we have here is the front diff lock interface harness, and I'm checking the resistance of the ground wire on it. I suspect it has an issue, and I can't find my other alligator clamp, so I'm using my spoon to back probe it. It doesn't pierce the wire, doesn't damage it, and we're reading OL, so we know it's got an open circuit. It's got an alligator clamp and a male Deutsch terminal on this side. And what I usually check, or usually do, is do a little tug test on both of these. But if you do it on this one, you can see it's broke inside the insulation, which fatigue and vibration and being at a bad angle will cause this. So you always want to check your connectors, your connector ends. And what I'll do is just put a new terminal in it. I have a terminal kit, a Deutsch terminal kit. Pretty handy. If you don't got one, get one. And we'll get this machine back up and going. All right, now we see the caution lights out. I'm going to try the diff lock. I have the machine running. Front and rear diff lock engaged. If you want to double check, you can always come to diagnostics, hydraulic readings, pressures. We'll go down the front and rear axle. 300 and 348. Let's inspect. We turn it off. We'll drop it down. Yeah, so both the pumps are working. I'll say this one's good.
Happy Thursday, y'all, and welcome to Customer States. Customer States, we got a hot one. Customer recently had check engine light diagnosed at another shop. After 500 miles of driving, check engine light is back on and vehicle runs rough. Let's see what we got. Wow. Ah, that's kind of neat. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh. Get a little scoop. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say that she's a little fuckered. I don't even think a winter air exchange could fucking fix that sumbitch. But fuck it. We'll give her a try and see what happens. Y'all have a good one. Thank you, bye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still got a broken rocker in there somewhere. Whoop. Found it. Customer states, while driving down the road, their vehicle just mysteriously shut off and would not restart. Now, clearly, you can see all the intake rockers broke. And if we look, adjust my light, it ain't gonna focus, but either way, those are bent intake valves. It's a good chance intake valves made contact with the piston. Obviously, those cams couldn't squeeze those valves down any harder, so they broke the rockers. So what does that intake cam have that the other cam doesn't have for the exhaust? Oh, it has a VCT. That's a variable timing cam doohickey thing. And I'm going to tell you all a really funny joke. Ford doesn't have any issues with VCTs. Now we're on our journey here to take the cylinder head off just to see how bad the damage is under there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to at least be replacing all the intake valves in this cylinder head. That's if it's reusable. I suspect, being that there's no bent valves or any damage to the bank 2 side of this engine, and the timing chain is on and tight, that VCT probably went cattywampus and threw that camshaft out of time, allowing the pistons to kiss all those intake valves and cause a lot of commotion under that valve cover. Okay, so first things first, you want to take your cylinder head off. And don't critique my method, but you know, that's how YouTube told me how to take it off. So if you don't know how to take a cylinder head off your vehicle, you can literally do it in like 15 minutes with YouTube, a handful of tools, and your landlord will love it at the apartment complex. So yeah. And as we can see, these valves right here, yep, they're all, they made love to the pistons, and they're no longer going to seal. So we're going to get 6 new valves, lap them in there, and fingers crossed, that cylinder head will be reusable. Pistons are okay, but you can definitely tell they made contact with them back. And like while we got it apart, I mean, it's going to get new timing chains, VCTs, solenoids, guides, tensioners. You don't take apart an engine and not like just put everything in it. You don't want to take this back apart twice. Your landlord will kick you out after that.
Customer states tire light is on.
Alright guys, I'm back with another one. This is on a 3500 V6 Malibu. This one, the customer is complaining that the car is running rough and it's overheating. Let's call this one Run the Car into the Ground Thursdays. The first issue on this one, if you can hear that, that's the water pump. Second issue is that it's misfiring. Check that out. Whoa. The third issue is related to the water pump. It's also pissing everywhere. And they drove the car this way and it overheated. And not just the water pump's leaking, it looks like the radiator is also leaking. And yes, it did fail a block test. Check that out. Green fluid, that's what it's supposed to look like. And that's no good. And the final major issue on this car that's gonna cost the customer a lot of money is this. Look at that. It's out of gas. That's gonna be a lot. I'm out of here. Next. All right, guys, I'm back with that part 2. This is on that 1.5 Equinox that was misfiring. If you didn't see part 1, go ahead and look at that and come back to this video. So as you can see, it's all torn down. You guys can't feel this, but man, there's a gouge in this wall right here. That's not good. Here's that piston. Check this out. Hey, Steve, if you're looking, if you're watching, check this out. Holy shoot. I don't know what fell in that cylinder, but man, this scarred up the piston real good. Okay, so it was on cylinder 3, the damage. So here's 1, here's 2, and there's 3. Oh, damn. So I keep inspecting and I keep finding stuff. Look at the stem on that valve.
Damn.
No spark plug pieces were found. I'm thinking maybe they got sucked into the turbo. This was an expensive mistake to make. It happens. So this is still up in the air if it's going to be Goodwill or CP. What do you guys think it should be? I'm out of here.
One of my biggest pet peeves in life is when you ask someone a question and they give you an answer that's technically correct, but also completely misleading. 2005 Ford Escape. Customer states that he's lost the only key that he had and that he's also lost the remote. Customer confirms that it is a universal Ford 3-button remote. Goes ahead and sends me all the information. I send it off to Ford. They send me back the code, and I cut an H86 service key, grab a couple of H92 PTs and a couple of Ford 3-button remotes, and proceed to drive 45 minutes to where the customer is. Once I verify that my test key works in the door and the ignition, I go ahead and duplicate it onto the H92 PTs, which I then proceed to try to program for the vehicle. Now, the first thing that crops up is the fact that the vehicle won't tell me how many keys are programmed to it. It gives me an error message, which suggests to me that the transponder system in this vehicle is not functioning. This is confirmed in the weirdest way possible when I go to cycle the transponder key, which has not been programmed to the vehicle, and the vehicle starts. I do the same with the second H92 PT transponder key that I have, and it also starts the vehicle. But you know what? That's cool. That saves me a few minutes, and it saves the customer a few bucks. Go to program the remote, which takes about 15 seconds. The first remote will not program. Swap the battery out for a fresh battery. Still will not program. Grab a second remote. Will not program. Swap the battery out on that one. Still will not program. And I'm standing there talking to the customer about the fact that it's kind of weird that his vehicle doesn't require a transponder chip in order to start, and how the remotes won't program, because normally it's a really simple, quick process, takes just a few seconds and works every time. And that's when the customer goes to mentioning that while he did have a remote for the vehicle, the remote that he had never actually worked. You might have gone to mentioning that.
So customer states car started making a noise. Let's see if we can get this here. See how close we can get on this. Look at that. 178, 798. Alright. What's this old sticker up here say? 170, 774. You've went 12,000 miles on an oil change. I bet it does make some noise. We'll find out. Yeah.
Thursday, slight problem.
Oh my God, that is terrible. Battery's laying on the fucking solid axle. Okay. Literally, your battery's laying on the fucking axle.
We don't need a battery. It's carbureted.
Read on one order.
Customer states, here's an odd noise coming from the rear tires and a slight vibration. Well, sir, you're missing a little bit of tire. But how cool is that? Like, perfect tire, no tire. That one's fine. And that's a BFG all-terrain. You don't usually see too many defects in those tires. They're pretty good. That had to have been some form of shenanigans.